when your cost to market gets too high? What's the strategies? Because, eating out of these cars, and we're talking about used car operations, and, how you own these cars are going to reflect on how you end up managing the inventory. And I'll show you the cause and effect of, when cost to market's too high. But before I do that, I want to go over kind of what we look at as a pricing strategy. Now, here at Lotwalk or Lotpop with our Lotwalk software, we rely heavily on inventory data from an inventory tool like vAuto or VinQ or Max Digital, ACV Max, and so forth. So Dealers Link, whatever inventory plus, whatever inventory management tool you have, I'm going to pull that data out of that system and then kind of evaluate how your inventory turns. So what first thing I want to show you, because again, cost to market is going to be reflective of what you could sell it for. So, and I don't want to just base what I could sell it for based on just market data. Because again, being a particular store, let's say a Toyota store, I should be able to sell RAV4s better than the Ford store can, and vice versa. So your reflection, and if you're a good dealership with a good reputation, a good market share, you can ask a premium, right? You don't have to be at 93%. You might be able to sell yours at 98. And I'll tell you that up front. We have some dealers that can sell at 100, 101%. They're just well-established dealers with good reputations, and they take care of their customers, so they're allowed to get a premium. And then there's other dealers that are good dealers. They're just in a really tough market, and they might have to sell at 95%. And then there's other dealers that might sell at 93% because they let cars sit and age and so forth. So you got to get understanding what your profile looks like and where cars are leaving your lot based on competition, but your internal processes and how you manage your inventory. So I do want to share my screen. I'm going to show you how we kind of come up with where you can exit a car for. Now, I will tell you, this is just a guideline. I'd put more money on it than not, and each car is going to be different, right? So if I'm looking at how F-150s leave my lot, having an F-150 Raptor is going to be different than just a XLT. So let's just take a look at this dealership's. This is a RAV4. And again, what we're going to look at is historical sales data over the last 60 days on this 2021 RAV4. Now, you don't need to worry about the dollar amounts I'm showing right here. What I do want to show is they are at 89% of market, and they're losing quite a bit of money. But this car is also over 100 days old. Let's just take it for what it is. Now, this particular dealer is not a Toyota store. I won't share what kind of franchise it is, but either way, and I guess if it matters, it's like, I think, a Mitsubishi dealership. I don't know if they have any other flagships with it or other manufacturers, but here, they have sold 11 Toyotas off of this lot in the last 60 days. And when they left the inventory, they were 59 days old and priced at 90% of market. Again, that's data that I get out of your inventory management tool. Now, they happen to sell 3 RAV4s at 89%. It took 91 days to sell. That's holding cars out. And again, I'm going over what happens when your cost to market gets too high. And you can see a lot of this dealership's inventory is taking too long to sell. And that's a reflection of owning your inventory high. Compact SUVs leave at 29 days at 95%. 2021s, 43 days at 93%. 60 to 80 market day supply, 32 days at 95%. Similar miles per year, 35 days at 95%. This thing has 64,000 miles, 16,000 miles per year. Because again, miles are an impact of high mileage, low mileage. They move slower or faster off your lot. 20 to 22.5 vehicles. They sold 13, 28 days at 95%. And they happen to sell 3 of this exact year, make and model, at 91 days at 89%. Now, I've mentioned before, we think this car will leave at 55 days at 93%. Based on our guidelines, and when we see stuff like this, that 93% is pretty darn accurate. And I'm going to go over kind of how we came up with that. So my cost to market should in line of where I can exit this car. So if I know they're leaving at 95% or 93%, I better own that car on the lower to middle 80% so I can make my profit margins. Okay. So I wanted to show you that first, because here's the other things. Again, if I look at all 38 units that they've sold over the last 2 weeks, we would have predicted they leave at 37 days at 95%. and they actually left at 39 days at 97%. Well, we're finding right now at tax seasons, volume's going up and we're getting a little bit more premium. But again, we're within 2 days and 2% guessing where these cars would leave to where they actually did. I bring that up because their current inventory, the 79 units that they do have, we would predict they leave it 37 days at 95%. And they're at 46 days old. So 9 days older, still at 99%. Why are they there? Well, again, that goes back to the very beginning of what I talked about on this cost to market. Our cost to market is really high. Okay. This dealership is running at 102 average right now. And even the fresh stuff's at 93%. But if I'm going to sell at 93% or 95%, do I want to sell out of the 0 to 15 bucket or the 31 plus bucket where I owe it for 106%? And that's where we get to tell you right now, over the last 2 weeks, remember the dealer, what they're selling is leaving at 97% of market. So when do you want to exit at 97? Day 15 or day 30 or day 40, right? So as I own my cars up high, I tend to price them high. So when we went back here, they're pricing their cars at 98% out the gate, and they were at 97% by day 35. Okay, back here in February 5th. So if I'm leaving at 97%, okay, they're there. They were priced there by day 30. Well, look where they're at right now. They don't get below 97% till day 46 and day 60. What does that lead to? This is what they're selling. A high percentage of their sales and volume are going out on aged cars where we're losing money. Okay. This is where we make up money right here at $2,000. We just need more of those deals. And here's the problem. Remember, they raised their price. They went from being 98% out the gate to being 102 and 103% out the gate. So if I'm going to sell, do I rather do it up here where there's gross or down here? Now, here's the other point of reflection here. If I look at all the last 60 days of leads, okay, and I want you to think about this, equate a lead to an activity. I get a lead, I'm going to do a call or email or text activities, 8-day calls, 7-day emails, right? Of their 60 days of leads, 50% of their leads are on these aged cars. Again, the aged cars that were at 94%. So what I'm telling you is 50% of their current active leads over the last 60 days are on these aged cars, losing money. And so what that means is 50% of the calls and emails your team's going to do today is going to lose money if they happen to sell these cars. Taking an age bucket up a step further, 10% on their 46 to 60. So now 60% of their activity is going to be on a lot of vehicles where we're not getting a lot of traction and losing money. And if you even go to 31 to 45, another 20%. So if you add all those up, 80% of the calls and emails they're going to do are on cars that are losing money. Why? Because we held out our pricing because our cost of market went up. Okay. So as our cost of market goes up, really what you owe on the car should be irrelevant. I'm going to stop. What you owe on the car should be irrelevant to what it's worth, right? So if my cost of market goes up, you still got to be disciplined enough to keep your pricing down. If anything, be more assertive on that fresh stuff. Because what we tend to do is, as I'm losing money on this older stuff, I'm going to price up my fresher stuff and try to offset that loss. And that's the wrong strategy. If we know the best time to make the most money on a car is when it's fresh, do I want to increase or decrease the odds of it selling while it's fresh? I want to increase the odds of it selling while it's fresh. So from going from 98% of market out the gate on fresh stuff to 103% on fresh stuff, do you think you're increasing or decreasing the odds of it selling while it's fresh? I'm decreasing it. And I'm going to go back to sharing the screen again, okay? Because what I want to show you is, remember, their price to market went up and only 2% now of their active leads over the last 60 days are on this fresh stuff where the money is. Only 18% where they're only 20% of their leads right now on this fresh stuff where the money is. I need to increase. Now, yes, their market's going to go down as they get more aggressive. They should be at 100%. The cars don't leave till 97. So if you want to try the market out, that's fine. But if my sale rate drops off, my grosses are going down, I need to dial that 103 back down to 100. Okay, I'd be 100 out the gate, or probably closer to 98% like I used to be, and then 97 by day 16. Because again, my cars are leaving at 97%, so I'd be at 100 or 99%. Again, maybe 98, and then by the next bucket, 96, 97%, and on down. More aggressive as the cars age. And what that will do is get that fresh sale rate up. And so as I'm losing money down here, I'm selling a fresh car to offset it. But what we're trying to do is ask a premium up here and say, man, I'm losing $4,000 here. Let's at least try to make $3,000 or $4,000 on this car, when this car really only deserves about a $1,500 margin to get off of it now. But here's the thing, tax season, I'm going to do another video tomorrow after I look at Black Book update. I did a video last week, or a little over a week ago, about is the tax season over, and I predicted we got about a week or two left of it, and we did see a spike. I'll do that video tomorrow when I update the market information from Black Book. But again, we only have about a week or so left of tax season traction, and if not by then, in most markets, now I understand up in the west, up in the northwest there, we've got some spring summer sales. Up north, your winter isn't over yet. I get it. So, but usually by April and May, this market really slows down. Nationally, it does. It drops about 15 to 20% in sales volume as activity of shoppers. The tax season buyers done. Winter's starting, or weather's starting to break, so they're getting distracted by doing other things, and they might pick back up in a July, August. That's the typical season, and we'll probably fall into that this year. So I'll do a market recap tomorrow on the tax season, what we're seeing, the shoppers. I want to send out my sympathy out to Debbie Ziegler. We lost Jim Ziegler this weekend with his fight to cancer, and he's a big legacy in this automotive world, and he's going to be greatly missed. And so our prayers go out to the Ziegler family and Debbie, and as they deal with the loss of Jim, and as the industry adjusts to not having him around, the alpha dog. So if you hopefully you like this tip, it's helpful. And again, check us out at lotwalk.com. We'll be able to help you navigate through this. This is information I think that you'll be able to see ahead of time and stay consistent in the market. I didn't go over everything. Just reach out if you like more information. I hope this, again, was helpful. I'll be doing a market update tomorrow or Wednesday to keep you in the loop of what we see happening out there.